drove from the east side. That was very cool. We're so excited to have this special screening on our opening night. Opening in theaters all over the country, so please tell everybody you know to go see Night Nurse this weekend. After this, we're having a party. Everyone here should have gotten the information for that, but we'll tell you again at the end. But enjoy the film and stick around after. We're gonna do a Q&A, and yeah, see you after.
Should I start?
Yeah. Thank you, Nina. Thank you for doing this.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for making a movie in these trying times. What was your parents' reaction to this when they first saw it?
My parents are actually very supportive of this film. And actually, we just did a screening in New York where both my parents were there, and my dad was actually a really big part of the Q&A. He answered some questions on behalf of the audience. I'm sorry he's not here tonight. That's not the same.
Okay, it's a crazy concept, especially for a first feature. How did you come across it? Like, what inspired you?
So this was inspired by a scam that my grandmother nearly fell for. It's called the grandparent scam, and it's one of those scams where basically somebody calls someone's grandparent, pretends to be in a horrible situation, and they need money, they need help, and the grandparent goes to the bank, wires the money. And anyway, with my grandma, she went all the way to the bank, and the tellers told her that it was a scam, so she didn't go through with it. But it got me thinking about these performances of these scammers, which I found to be very theatrical and strange, that there were these people out there doing what I thought to be like basically like performance art on the phone, calling other people. I don't know, I thought it was weird, and so that was sort of like the scene, I guess, for the film.
Did you know that it was going to be an erotic thriller from when you heard about the grandparent scam?
This is a question that comes up where they say, grandma, erotic thriller, and then I have to say that what happened to my grandma was not erotic. And that I did that part.
So I noticed when I was watching this film that a lot of the characters' intentions are pretty ambiguous. And I'm wondering if that was what you planned out from the beginning when you were writing the screenplay, or if it's something that you decided to like omit details about the characters' lives, like when you were getting ready for production.
So basically, the script for this film is relatively close to what we made. I think we omitted certain details, and certain scenes, of course, did not make it in. But I think in general, it's pretty close. And I think I intended, of course, for the ambiguity to be there, and because I wasn't interested in making a movie about what it is like to be a nurse, because obviously this is not that. And so instead I was interested in basically I was interested in the compulsive side of caregiving and using nurses as a container to talk about the other side of caregiving, which basically when I was writing the script, I was living in Chicago, and I would come across these billboards, and the billboards said they were advertising medical school, and they said it's amazing to be needed, which I found to be a compelling slogan that I related to, and then I was like, yeah, how does this, I was like, how am I a caretaker in my own life and in my own relationships, and how can I, what can I make to talk about that that's not autobiographical? Because I didn't want to make something autobiographical, so that's a roundabout answer.
My next question is for our two lovely actresses. With a script like this that does dabble in a kind of like ambiguity, you don't really get much backstory for either of these characters. Was that daunting at all? Like, were you afraid of going in a different direction than what Georgia wanted? Like, what was the process like crafting these characters?
Georgia and I had actually like years. I guess we had talked about some backstory elements that like some made into the film and some didn't, but I guess personally for me I don't find it didn't affect me that much in the sense that like I don't find that information necessarily too evocative for me. Like what was more helpful in terms of crafting the character was like reference movies or like more like the emotional conversations, I guess. So I knew some, and then what I didn't know, I was like, that's what I didn't get to know, I guess. I am Dr.
No, that's a joke, but I say that because in a very lovely fashion, Georgia wrote this part for me. I've known Georgia since she was a little girl. And she and my daughter Lucy grew up together making movies in my house. That would be next week. Anyway, when I said yes, and then I read the script, which primarily gave me a new window into Georgia's feverish brain. But I also love the character, and I sort of thrive in the arena of ambiguity. And I like the fact that with Dr. Mann, you're never quite sure, like, is she a caring professional really looking out for the best for her patients? Does the bizarrely erotic nature of the community start with her? We don't really know, and I don't like it that way.
Mimi, hold that mic. You're no stranger to erotic thrillers, and I'm wondering what is your connection to this genre and why it speaks to you.
Well, in most cases, you're usually given a really interesting character to play. I don't know how many people here have seen Bulletproof Heart, which is a film I did with Andrew Apollo, which is definitely an erotic thriller, but was one of the most complicated characters I've ever portrayed. And I guess you could think of The Rapture as an erotic thriller, although more of a theological film noir. That's probably it. It's usually a very complicated character that you're portraying, and I like that.
You do an amazing job. I was really scared. You were not allowed to take care of me. I was very fascinated by, of course, like the aesthetics of this film. There's lots of like mints and blues. There's sort of like this sterile sense of like the rooms, but at the same time, there's like lots of beautiful plant life. And I'm wondering if you can speak, Georgia, to any of that, any of those like set design choices.
Definitely. I also want to say my DP Lydia is here. She's running this. because, you know, the world of the film, you know, we crafted together very closely. But originally it was originated from my real grandma's house. We filmed in her house, and I wrote the script to take place in her house. So a lot of the house that you see, we changed it a little bit and enhanced it a little bit, but it is like her real house. And I was very inspired by this house because she moved in like the 80s, and then so it has like really distinct decor, and then lived there for decades. So it's sort of like she got a flat screen TV, and then she got a landline phone, and it was just sort of like all these mixtures of time periods. And I was interested in like how all these things could work in the space together. So, and the space her house makes you feel like very unmoored, like you don't know where you are in time. And I was trying to emulate that with the film, with Lydia as well, with the cinematography, which of course plays a big role in the film, and creating the look of the film. We shot almost the whole movie on a dolly, which I think made the film have like a heaviness and like a weight to it that I think is nice, and makes us like feel like we're moving very slowly through time, which is something we tried to do. Like we're stuck and we can't ever get out of that pool. Like we're going round and round in a circle.
Yeah, I really liked the hazy style of this film, and I'm wondering how you came about like crafting your style, you know, because I think with an erotic thriller you can go like really thrilling, so it was like an interesting choice for like things to start like slowly unfold.
Yeah, I think, you know, some of the style, I think it just, mostly it starts with references, and I think a lot of people here probably relate to that. Is like, you have like movies that you love and filmmakers that you love, and you pull from them. So, you know, I love Cronenberg's Crash. That was a big inspiration for this movie. You know, Lydia and I looked at the lighting in that film a lot. Adam Ogoyan's Exotica. Exotica had in the second row right here. I also love Three Women. I listened to that score a lot when I was writing the film, and it has just like this like beautiful mixture of, you know, like atonal flutes and instruments and pools and a beautiful pool, obviously. And so I think I think the world kind of comes, like, it's born out of references, and then like this actual place of my grandma's house, which like had a really distinct feeling to it, and you kind of like mush those all together, and the movie comes out.
Cemre, I also feel like with this like sort of slow movingness, your character is like crawling, always like horizontal, like kind of just like, you know, creeping around. What gave you this idea to embody this sort of physicality? Like, how did you develop it?
I think some of it did come from the references, like Georgia said, of like what I was interested in and what she gave me, and then the rest was sort of like, when I did it, I could see that Georgia and Lydia liked it, and
She aims to please.
I aim to first and foremost please. And I realized that when I did stuff like that, they're like, "Oh, that was good. Do that again." So I kept doing it, and then it became like the style of what we were doing. And then they're like, "How did you come up with that?" It's like, because you like it, so I just keep doing it.
And as Lydia sometimes says in other talks we've done, that my grandma's house is covered in wall-to-wall carpeting, and it's very soft, and kind of the best way to go from room to room is by crawling. It's the most natural way.
Yeah, what if I said because it's efficient? For efficiency.
I also read that in an interview when I was stalking you guys before this, that you filmed the intimate scenes before the other scenes. And I guess this can be answered by all three of you. How did you create this level of trust and of like understanding to get those scenes really nice?
We did shoot all those scenes first. We shot like all the scenes between Cemre and Douglas the first week, like the first phone call. And we kind of did it in order within that week, so I felt like we sort of created this like mini arc for the film in that first week. And I think it kind of set this nice tone for the movie where we kind of like had like a very serious first week. We did like all the really like challenging intimate stuff first. And how did we create a sense of?
I think it's like we had no choice basically. Well, because it's like obviously logistically, so many choices obviously are made because you have to. We didn't plan it that way. It was because of availability or whatever. Like that's how we had to do it, and I think none of us sort of like questioned it and just like took it on, and only afterwards we were like, well, that was kind of, that was intense. And then we filmed a party scene after that. So, and that felt like really not intense after, so maybe that was like a nice bookend, yeah, because it's a party, even though it's like not very party-like.
Can I ask how much the budget was for this film?
Should I say? Oh, I'm getting someone to say no.
Okay.
I saw a finger wagging. Hilda says I'm not allowed to.
It was under
It was-
100 million.
It was
Okay.
just it was somewhere between 100 million and $1.
Well, the reason I ask is because I feel like we're in this era of Hollywood right now, where it is so hard to make a movie. Like a lot of these studios are only gonna make a movie if it's gonna be like a $200 million budget type of film. And were there any things that you had to be like creative about, or any unconventional methods of filmmaking that you had to resort to? And any of you can answer this question.
I'm still scarred by that apartment. So, there's a long shot, a very 70s looking shot of me on the balcony, looking out over them going around and around. And, just talking about the necessities of lower budget filmmaking. They got a couple who lived in an apartment in that building to allow us to use their balcony. And they were like, Eastern European or something. Anyway, they were a lovely, lovely couple, but they really wanted to chat quite a bit. So,
The hard thing was that we made you look into the sun.
and that and staring directly into the sun, yes, that was also challenging. But one of the things that I wanted to speak to in terms of what you were saying is that one of the truly lovely things about working on a film like this, which doesn't have a big budget, is it's less than 100.
Less than 100.
There's a real joy in working with a group of people, including myself, who are clearly not there for the money, but for the pure love of filmmaking. And there's a kind of purity to that experience that's really, really remarkable. And for us old timers, it's like a great sort of throwback to why we are doing it in the first place. So,
It's very sweet. Thank you. It is not a secret that this is a low budget film. And of course we filmed it in my real grandmother's house. Cemre is my dear friend, so there's a lot of pieces to this movie that were people coming together to really do the labor of love, as they say.
Do you guys have a favorite moment from the production process?
Favorite moment.
Donuts.
Donuts. Do we have donuts?
Eddie brought donuts.
We had hot chocolate one day.
Yeah, but Eddie brought donuts.
Maybe you didn't get it.
I don't know if I had a donut.
MRI was exciting. People were
Oh,
going
yeah.
crazy about the MRI.
That's a real MRI. That's a fun fact.
Really, yeah.
That's a real MRI, and everyone. So we were filming in like outer Illinois, and everyone in the hospital was very enamored with the film, and they were very enamored with Mimi being there, and that was actually a big reason why we got that MRI. And yeah, that's a real one, and he really did a scan of his brain, and the brain that you see is Bruce's brain. Free
Free
MRI,
MRI.
but it hasn't been read. So if there's a doctor in the audience, we could read it now, which could be really exciting.
I was actually trying to figure out if he had dementia from the MRI. Like, for some reason, I thought I would just know from looking at the scan.
Yeah. And someone probably can by looking at it, but not the four of us.
You didn't want to reveal in the movie exactly if there is something medically wrong with Douglas. There's clearly other things that are wrong. Do you have an ethos about how much a filmmaker should reveal in like interviews like this or in a movie in general?
Okay, I like this question because I feel like I'm not allowed to be like cool like other filmmakers or like big filmmakers. Like you're not allowed to say like, well, I'm not gonna share this because I think it takes making like a bunch of really important movies to talk like that. So no, I like reveal all.
Have you been surprised by any other people's interpretations of your film?
I feel like I'm so living outside of my own body right now that I don't know really what surprises me or not right now. I think there's different interpretations to the film, and that's okay with me, especially around like questions about like whether or not he has dementia. And those are like, I think there are good questions to have when you finish a movie, and I hope the audience has like the productive good questions and not the bad ones.
I guess like my final question is, do you feel any pressure going on to do another project of making it stylistically similar to this one, or listening to like any feedback and like moving in a way that's not necessarily true to what you might want as an artist?
I do feel a little bit of pressure in terms of just like how well genre movies are doing. So I do feel a little pressure just because it's like those are the movies that just like everyone's like, oh, that did really, really well. So in that way I do, but I also like am more interested in not like straight genre, but like a movie that I think Night Nurse is sort of like anti-erotic thriller, and it just has like genre elements that I like, and that's kind of like what I'm interested in continuing to do. And then watch me like totally.
You're making a Marvel movie next.
Yeah. I want to do Minions. For real.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Mina, for doing this. We're all going to go to Shay J, and it's going to be so fun. There's going to be French fries and drinks. The night nurse Negroni. That's the drink. I hope everyone Ubers. So you could leave your car if you park in the lot, you could leave it and you could walk. It's possible. It's a 10-minute walk. Or you could drive to Shay J. There is a parking lot. It's small. It'll be a little bit first come, first serve. So we'll see you there. We're gonna not linger here. We're gonna like go straight there and talk more there. Okay, bye.